welcome to episode 1 of Retro Recall, a show where we recall everything retro. A lot of cool stuff planned for today's episode, and today is actually Friday, the 25th of March 2011. Not sure when this will be released, but I'm hoping to have episodes released on a somewhat regular basis. This is my pilot episode, and if you recognize me, it's because I also host another YouTube channel called ShadowTrooper01. A lot of cool stuff in store for today. Okay, so we're here in the studio where I have a few video game related items, but they're only here because they're going to be used in upcoming future episodes. I use this room as my studio because it's far away from all the other rooms, and it's also the brightest room. First up, we're going to look at fixing video game discs if they're not working using a method invented by people a long time ago, but I have my own little tips and tricks that'll help you in your search to perfect that. So we're going to have to go to the workshop first, so I will see you there. Okay, here we are in the workshop, and we have a disc that is not working properly. So in order to fix the disc, you're going to need a couple ingredients. One, here's a roll of toilet paper. You can use a bunch of soft cloths or tissues or whatever you want to use, but I would recommend something soft like toilet paper. Next, you're going to need some kind of toothpaste. It does not matter which kind or flavor, it's all going towards the best. I would recommend getting some that don't have the little you can't see it on the picture there, but the little white they're almost like little mint things inside that whiten your teeth. You're not going to want those, but I do. They're in this one. It will still work, it just will take a bit longer to do. And this is a very time-consuming process, like I said, or I haven't said, but I say now. So as you can see, this game has some noticeable scratches. If I get the dust off of it, look at it. It's fine, but look there. Scratches that are going to have to be fixed, or this disc will not work again. And this is just a blank disc, but this will work on your PS1 disc. So I just have to get a disc that I can rack and show you. So I'm going to try and see if I can set the camera down somewhere here and get to it. Okay, so here's the disc. You're going to take your toothpaste, and you can just squeeze some out onto the disc. And don't just put it in the place where it's not working. Put it anywhere, because you have to fill the whole disc. That should be enough for me. The more scratches you have, the more you'll need. As you can see, mine has the whitening bits in it, so it'll be a bit harder for me, but sorry, let me brighten that for you. There you go. Okay, sorry, my camera died there for a second, so pretty good thing. I'm going to demonstrate how to rub it on without actually using that first, though. So I'll use the Retro Recall notebook. So there's a picture of the disc. You're going to want to go like this. Take the toothpaste, and you're going to want to rub it in a circular motion so it covers the disc. So, like this, you would take your toilet paper and go like this. And you end up with something like that. So let's do the real thing here. Move this tripod here. Sorry. There you go. That's all on there. I know. Just fix that up. You're not going to want to get the toothpaste on yourself, because that's just plain annoying. Hold on, let me turn this. So as you can see, I'm like almost done here. I've been going over this the way it should be, and the toothpaste has eroded into the holes, cracks, scratches, and as you can see, this disc is ready to go. I also labeled it, because it's always good to label your blank discs, and these were just some random pictures. So, thank you guys, and let's switch over. Okay, just quickly, we're here in the workshop again. Yep, it's kind of messy. Bunch of random stuff. But I love it in here. I love to build and fool around with things. No pun intended. We're just going to learn quickly how to clean up and make your video game collectibles shinier, worth more and everything. So, sorry. We're going to demonstrate on this Star Wars ship I have. You're going to need a few things for this. I really recommend getting these. These are awesome. Seriously, I can't recommend these enough. And they're so cheap. These are like wipes that you clean things with, obviously. They are just magnificent. Sorry, I can't see. Is that right? Really awesome thing. Doesn't really matter the brand, but this is like clean shine. You're going to need possibly LPS, lubricant, or any other kind of grease you have to loosen up joints. And I say this with great hesitation. You may need nail polish, and it's going to need to match exactly the color of the ship, which this doesn't. I don't have a color that will match it, and I wouldn't do it anyway, but if you do need to fix a scratch or something, very light coat of this nail polish. I'll demonstrate. Just a second though. So here is a piece of paper. When I say light coat, I mean like this. Like that. And take a different brush, not this one, and rub it in. You do not want to get a lot of nail polish on your ship or collectible or whatever you're using, because it will permanently wreck it, which is not what any of us want. There's other things you can use if you like. There's like paint remover if you need that. Doubt you will though. Spray paint. And maybe something to like hold it while you're doing that stuff. And maybe like a light. So let's work on my ship now. First, I'm obviously just going to do a coating on it with these wipes to get off all the outer dirt and grime that you can easily get off on the outside. Okay, sorry. Just getting a wipe. Go to it and just wipe it up. You don't have to put too much pressure. You should put a little though. And just get out all the outer grime. Don't be too specific. There's something there, as you can see. Sorry. We'll have to work on those white spots later. So, as you can see, the ship's kind of wet. And we've gotten the outer layer off. So, a glass cleaner could also be useful in this situation, but I don't have any right here with me. Sorry, I'm looking. Now that that's off, what you're going to need is Q-tips, or something like a Q-tip if you don't have any. Or, if you need to make one, you can use the wipe you already used. Take a small screwdriver, like this, and actually wrap it around the end take it and go in the little grooves where you couldn't have got before. So like in the holes, around the tight corners. Especially the windshield, as you can see, it's getting really shiny now. And here, really important here. And that's pretty much it. After you put on after you would always put a coat of like Windex or window cleaner or whatever you have on there, and you're pretty good to go. So switch over again. Okay, so there's also we're gonna look at Pokemon today, the franchise. For Pokemon, there's so many video games, especially on the Game Boy Advance SP or Game Boy Advance, whatever you would call it. The toys. This Pokeball. And there's also probably its most popular content is the cards. These cards are good and bad. They're bad because most people who get the cards, like kids and teenagers and stuff, they don't even know that video games even exist, and they're missing out. Pokemon is a really good RPG, I have to say. Just thought I'd throw that out there for you guys today about Pokemon. You should look, if you haven't dwelled into the franchise, I'd recommend doing so because it's really awesome and worth it. They have some great games. Here's some gameplay. Sorry guys, but it's looking like that's all the time we have for today's show. Episode 1, the pilot episode of Retro Recall, where we recall everything retro. If you also want to get more of us, I have another YouTube channel called Shadow Trooper 01. I have other YouTube channels other than that, which you can find off my Shadow Trooper 01 YouTube channel, which is my main one. I also do a video game, retro and modern video game podcast on iTunes, which is probably my most successful feed. I probably have about 90,000 subs, so some of you may have actually heard of it. It's called Video Games Regenerated, where we regenerate video games. All my titles are pretty simple like that. So if you want to check that out, just go to iTunes and search Video Games Regenerated. And I know I'm moving my head like this a lot. See you guys, and see you next time on Retro Recall. This has been episode 1. Adios.